Mother has said every sincere prayer is answered. If your will is really sincere, you'll get an indication from within, provided you're not stuck up that, mother, I want it this way only. And for some of us, we are so self-willed, mother's not even in the equation. There's not even, mother, I want it this way. I want it this way, and I will have it this way only. And if it's not this way, I'm going to throw a tantrum. Then that's a field of ignorance which we are not even touching. So, yeah, continuing with the example mother gives. If this person, so I'll read this again. You tell someone, go. I give one example among millions. Go and see this person and tell him that in order to obtain that. If this person is receptive, immobile within and surrendered, then he goes. He sees the person and tells him, and the thing is done without any complication, whatever, like that. If this person has an active mental consciousness, if he does not have total faith, if he has all the mixture of everything brought in by ego and ignorance, he sees difficulties, he sees problems to be solved, he sees all the complications, and of course all this happens. And so according to the proportion, everything is always a question of proportion. According to the proportion, it creates complications. It takes time, the thing is delayed, or even worse, it ends in, it's not done at all. There are many degrees, but all that belongs to the domain of complications, mental complications and desires. Whereas the other way is immediate. There are countless examples of these cases, of all cases, and also of the immediate case. Then people tell you, oh, you have performed a miracle. No miracle has been performed. That is how it should always be. If you are in a state of flow, every day of your life is a miracle. There's no miracle. I mean, it should be like that. That's how the divine has intended it. But we keep complicating it with our mental thoughts, desires, overthinking, whatever. It is because the intermediary did not add himself to the action. The supreme secret is, when mother's action is happening, don't add yourself to the action. Stay out of it and let the action happen. I do not know if this is clear, but anyway. So, Siddhi, you asked, how do you know the divine will? I said you don't know. But if you really ask, you'll always get an answer. So from my own life, years before, when I was working in the corporate, and I was totally miserable because it wasn't my thing. I worked just 2 months. And I remember that time I hadn't consciously found mother, so I was praying in our fire temples, and I was telling God that this is just not my thing. What should I do? Please guide me. I want to find my instrument to play in life. And without thinking, it came into my mind, go to JB Petit. That's the school where I teach, and the fire temple was next door to JB. It's, if you know, there's that. So I just went out of the fire temple without thinking. I went to the principal. I said I'd like to teach. If I thought about it, I'd have never done it, because those days teaching wasn't a socially acceptable job. I started my job on a salary of 2,500. And mentally it wasn't a logical thing to do. In the corporate, of course, you're earning much more. But it was just, thank God, in that moment, mother had captured my mind. I didn't add mental complications to it. The supreme will probably told me go to JB. I didn't think twice about it, because thinking twice I wouldn't have followed it. And that's how the whole journey began. So if you ask, you will always receive an answer. And I'm not saying it will be immediate like this. Here it was immediate, but sometimes it's not immediate also. But always ask. Sometimes you may not even receive an answer, but if you're really saying, Mother, I want your will to be done, Mother will maneuver things so that her will is done. If you're receptive enough and you sincerely want her will rather than your object of desire.
Going to the fire temple, even that was like your mind telling you that.
So Siddhi, I wasn't in the flow of surrender at all in those days. I'm not even completely, I'm trying. We are all work in progress. If I was in that sahat state, I would have been happy even in the corporate, but I wasn't meant to be. So even that unhappiness is part of the greater plan. Even that desire is part of the greater plan. You flow into the sahat state when you're ready for it, not any old time, not before you're ready for it.
You say that not even like a leaf falls from the tree without Krishna.
Yeah.
But that means like if you stand under the tree and you say leaf fall, it will not fall. Because like your desire will make it fall. My question is, ultimately, is your delay part of the bigger plan? Or is it like outside the bigger plan that you have?
So Tanu, nothing is outside the bigger plan. But conscious collaboration is when you fulfill the plan in a shorter time. If you don't consciously collaborate, the will still happen, but it will take much longer through many detours and whatever else.